Yo, what's up you guys? It's Raptura here. It's probably going to be one of my longer videos that I make. I'm mainly going to be talking about who I am as a player and what kind of weapons I play, as well as like doing a bit of like sort of reviews of which weapons I have played and why I play them and why I don't play them now. So a lot of you may know me for playing the Slosher Machine. Slosher Machine is my most painted weapon, and if you've ever seen me at lands, you know I have like this very weird way of aiming. I know Dude, Soren, and Nerza and Brian saw me at G6 and they were pretty interested to see that. And shout out to Dude for actually helping me get a bit better at my aiming, mainly from changing what my sticks are like. But I'll leave him to explain that stuff to you if he so chooses. So a lot of the weapons that I play are midline weapons. Typically I play one of two types of midline weapons. Either I play what I like to call utility weapons, which have really good specials like Stingray, Bubbles, Bomb Rush, etc. Or I play more of a support kind of weapon, which is like Brella, like Kent's Undercover Brella that has like armor, or the Blobber, or the regular Brella which have rain. And then sometimes I play something of like a bit of a flex where I play like support, like utility kind of stuff. But mainly what I'm trying to say is that I don't play like Slayer or backline for the most part. So and Slosh Machine is pretty much like that golden middle that I have with all of my weapons, where it has a 2-shot kill. First shot does 76 damage if I direct, and it has, I believe, 38 damage if you indirect, like you just saw. And there are 3 variants of this weapon: the regular Slosh Machine, which has the auto bomb and Stingray, the Neo Slosh Machine, which has the point sensor and the bomb rush, and the Kensa Slosh Machine, which has the fizzy bomb and the splashdown. Now, all 3 of them I have issues with, but I'll say now that although the one I have most painted with is the basic Slosh Machine, the only reason for that is because it's been out the longest, so I have the most practice with the main weapon on that. However, I think that the basic Slosh Machine is actually the worst of the 3 Slosh Machines, and the Slosh Machine Neo for my playstyle is the best that I have. And the Kensa Machine is what I fall back to when I need a more aggressive option. Now, the reason why I believe the Slosh Machine Neo is, in my opinion, better than the Kensa Slosh Machine is mainly because of the Bomb Rush special, along with the point sensors. A lot of people sleep on point sensors, as they're not a lethal bomb, and this game is very much focused on having bomb aggression and aggressive specials. So that is what Kensa Machine has over the Neo Machine. It has Fizzy Bomb, which is probably the best sub weapon in the game, alongside Torpedo. Now, what makes a point sensor so great is the ability to keep track of enemies, especially those with a lot of mobility, like the Tetra Dualies, the brushes, and any weapon with Ninja Squid. So a lot of the reason why I use this is just to throw it over walls so I can scout out enemies and then get some quick sloshes in, alongside of allowing for easier pincers with my teammates, so that we can continue to hold down objectives and zones better. And the Bomb Rush special allows for just more paint, which the Slosh Machine has a large issue with. Now, one really good thing I like about the Kensa Machine, again, is that Fizzy Bomb. So the Fizzy Bomb pretty much does the exact same thing that the Bomb Rush would do, but all of the time. It allows for more paint, and let's see. So you can actually shake it, and it'll do 3 hits like that, and it paints a lot. And it also makes sure that whenever you're in a 1v1 engagement, or in an unfavorable engagement, that you provide damage alongside with your main weapon, which the Neo Machine can't say the same, and the regular Slosh Machine can't do that either, because it has Auto Bomb, which blows up at a set timer or whenever it's closer to an enemy. which isn't always convenient for engagements. So the the Kensa sloshing machine is definitely the most aggressive sloshing machine that there is. But as a player that doesn't tend to be aggressive the entire game, I don't think that that's the best for me. The other issue I have with the Kensa sloshing machine is the splashdown. And one thing you'll notice in like higher levels of play that the splashdown is not the best special. Now, when you start playing this game, like if you're playing casually, you might think that splashdown is really good, mainly because like you just go up in the air and it seems to be like you're invincible for a long time, and you do a lot of damage around you, so you can get a lot of quick and easy kills. It's sort of like a panic special. But in high levels of play, what you'll realize is that the splashdown ends up being a liability. When you're in the air, you're not actually doing damage, and you're very vulnerable to everyone around you. So a lot of people can just aim up in the air, shoot you down, and then that's it. So you come back, albeit with another splashdown, especially if you have special saver. Not being able to survive is definitely the issue that this weapon has. And I feel like the bomb rush in a lot of cases allows for a lot better use throughout the game. So with point sensor and bomb rush, I feel like I'm a lot more effective. But that's just my opinion. I still believe that Kensa machine is probably I'm not gonna say it's the strongest machine. I still think it's a Neo, but it's definitely close up there. And the regular slosh machine just falls flat. Now, a lot of the other weapons that I play, I used to play Slosher Deco. So Slosher Deco is a really good weapon, and I feel like when Soda Slosher comes out, especially if it has Fizzy Bomb, that'll probably be one of the best weapons in the game, with a tier 1 special on a tier 1 weapon, in my opinion. Slosher is really good because it does consistent damage. The 70 damage you can definitely account for. There's nothing crazy like the slosh machine only doing 38 damage. Which is a common thing. Like if you miss your directs, then again that's a liability. So you really need to be extremely accurate with this weapon. So with Slosher, it allows for quick kills, and I know Plantro is a really good Slosher, so definitely check him out. I can't really say too much about this weapon since I haven't played in a long time. Besides the fact that it has one of the better specials of this game, has Baller. Which is really good for Clan Blitz as well as Splat Zones, and allowing for just survival a lot better than Splashdown and some other specials too. And it has Sprinkler, which allows for paint to map control and special acquisition, which is extremely important in longer games and games that require you to get your specials coordinated with your teams, which should be every game, honestly. I've never played the Tri-Slosher, so I'm not going to talk about that. But one issue that I have with this weapon is that it's a bit too short range and the hitboxes are a bit weird for me. Especially since I haven't played it in its golden age, it's really hard for me to say anything about this weapon. So some of the other weapons that I do play, I play Bloblobber, which is an extremely interesting pick. The one really good thing I like about Bloblobber is that it holds down zones extremely well. So you have a lot of zoning potential, allowing for your teammates to get picks off of your smaller hits, your smaller, weaker hits. It's also the only slosher in the game that can pretty much kill with one slosh, which won't come up too often, but it's relevant enough to make a point out of it. Both sets are really good. The Bloblobber Deco that I'm using right now has Sprinkler, which already I said is an extremely good sub-weapon, as well as Bomb Rush, which I praised already for the Neo machine having it. The other kit I actually like a lot better, mainly because I think that Rain is probably one of the better specials of this game. The regular Bloblobber has Wall, which is okay. It's not bad. It works on the weapon. I really feel like a lot more weapons should have Wall that would benefit from it. So like the Rapid Blaster is one really good weapon with Wall. 96. Heavy has it. L3 has it now. So Like wall is definitely great, but the main thing about it is its ability to just keep map control and paint with rain, as well as doing chip damage for your teammates to follow up, which is really good for a support if you're really into playing like the more support role. Explosher is a really good weapon as well. Explosher has 2 kits as well. It has Sprinkler, which I've been explaining, and Bubbles, which is extremely good for zones, clan blitz, and some of those more objective focused and push based modes. Not so much tower control, but Explosher is very much different from the Slosh Machine, in my opinion, as it does a lot more damage on hit. So you can actually hit an indirect and a direct at the exact same time, doing 90 damage, and then all your teammates have to do is follow up with maybe 1 or 2, definitely 1 shot. The other thing that it does is it has a lot more range than the Slosh Machine, so if I feel like I'm out range, I'll just switch to this weapon instead. So one thing you'll probably notice about a lot of the weapons that I play is that none of the sub weapons are particularly potent in terms of killing potential. They're all support subs. So you'll see a lot of what I use is sprinkler weapons, point sensors, and those kind of subs. You typically won't see me use a bomb unless it's like the curling bomb on mini or like the fizzy bomb if I'm going more aggressive. The custom Explosher has a point sensor as well, and it has the baller, which is a lot better for clan blitz. I like to use this one more on Rainmaker, mainly because I can paint a path using the baller for a Rainmaker, as well as ensure that I know where all of the enemies are during our Rainmaker pushes, so that it's harder for enemies to get in close to us. The other weapons that I play a lot of Brellas, and Brellas come in. I only play 2 different kinds of Brellas. I play the regular Brella as well as the undercover Brella. So with the regular Brella, again, you see this extremely utility heavy kit. So you see the Sprinkler and you see the Rain here. One really good thing about Brella is that it allows me to be more up close to enemies. So it allows me to protect my teammates as well with the Brella shield and canopy. And then I can also paint pass using this, which I seldom use it, but it comes up sometimes. Now, the most important Brella that you'll probably see is not this one, it's the other one. The Kensa Undercover Brella. So Kensa Undercover Brella has, again, one of the best sub-weapons in the game. It has Torpedo, which locks on the enemies, which is really good for my playstyle. I really like to know where enemies are. So if I feel like an enemy is above a wall, I'll just throw it above the wall and then see if the torpedo tracks onto an enemy, and then I'll call them out so that my teammates can shoot them down. The other really good thing about this weapon is that it has armor, which is ridiculous, especially for a Brella. So one really good thing about the armor plus Brella combo is that no matter what, you're protected, and you're protecting your teammates with both the Brella shield as well as your armor. So if they destroy the Brella, you still have your armor to protect you, and you'll constantly get assists from your teammates killing the different enemies, which feeds you more armors, and it allows for you to continue to do your job. Because Undercover Brella has this mechanic where if your Brella shield breaks and a teammate gets an assist, then you get the canopy back immediately, so you can stay in fights longer. So yeah, that's one really good reason why if you're a support player, you should pick up this weapon, and why I try to use this weapon as much as I possibly can. A lot of the times nowadays, I don't actually play this weapon, mainly because the teams I play on don't really need that kind of like passive support. They need something a bit more aggressive, like the Slosh Machine, or they need to know where people are at all times, which is why I use the Slosh Machine Neo, which is again my most comfortable weapon. But let's go into one of the more aggressive, quote-unquote mid-liner support weapons I'd play. So Kensa Jr. is one of those weapons that you don't really get to see a lot. It has the torpedo, and with the buff in, I believe it was 4.0, with the ability to have more ink in its tank. It has a larger tank than most weapons. You don't really need to run any ink subs, or sorry, ink efficiency subs or mains on your gear. So you can just constantly spam torpedo, not even using the ink saver sub. And the other thing it has that's really good for it is the bubbles, which is an extremely good offensive special. So right now I don't actually have object shredder on, but if I did have object shredder on, those bubbles would be destroyed a lot faster than they were. And the torpedo bubble combo allows for quick kills in heavy engagements, especially in spot zones where everyone is on the zone, or you're in a situation where you need to defend the Rainmaker and there's no other way to stop the push except for something reckless. This is more like my reckless engage. I'm gonna run into you and just kill you kind of weapon. It really helps me a lot too, because of like a lot of the weapons I play have a very weird way that I aim. So having a weapon that is not a shooter, that I can be aggressive with, but still paints like a shooter, is really important for me. Some other weapons that I would play. I used to play a lot of the Rapids, and I'll explain the reason why I don't play any of the Rapids anymore, as well as the L3, is mainly because of just like the fact that they shoot straight. So one really important thing that I like to do with Slosh Machine is I like to rush down snipers, because I feel like if you're playing a shooter weapon, you really struggle with fighting against the snipers, and there aren't too many weapons that can stop those things except for Rapids and Sloshing Machine. Now the good thing about Sloshing Machine is that you can get into weird spots where snipers can't actually hit you, which Rapid can't say the same about. So if I were to play a Slosh Machine and I were to rush down a sniper, I pretty much just like sit under where they're perched up and then just like, slosh like this. But if I'm playing a Rapid Blaster, I don't really have that option. What I'm really doing is I'm trying to hit them with the burst damage at the end, essentially going for indirects, and that's not really great. But with the Slosh Machine, I can actually pray for like directs if I just like shoot up like that, and you see I got direct like that. There we go. So that's like one reason why I play the Slosh Machine over the other weapons. However, I do see the merit of playing like Rapids. So Rapids are like definitely better kits overall than the Slosh Machines do, which is one trade-off that I'm willing to take for a main weapon that's a lot better. The Slosh Machine hitbox is just a lot more generous than the Rapid hitbox, and it doesn't suffer the same aiming penalty that the Rapids do either, which is one reason why I dropped the weapon entirely, maybe about 9 months ago, like around Smash and Splash 4. But I will say that, like, again, the kits on Rapids are extremely good. So Rapid Pro Deco has the wall plus armor, which is a extremely good kit. So especially on maps like Schellendorf, where you can use the wall to stop things like the snipers and the heavies, etc., hydras from killing you, while also staying in range for you to hit them on the glass. You can outrange a lot of opponents with this weapon, which again the Slosh Machine can't really say. But the reason why I don't play this weapon is just because of the drawbacks that the weapon has for me. I feel like it's a lot more worth it to be in those very weird spots that snipers can't get to me, instead of having the issue where people are rushing me down and I can't actually hit them, because of like just how the weapon is. Also, the fire rate's slightly different, but the regular Rapid has even more aggressive kits. It has the suction bomb and the inkjet, as well as the ink mine and the splat bomb launcher. Now, ink mine on rapid blaster is actually not a bad thing. If you're stuck in an engagement where I know a lot of rapids struggle at hitting like these kind of directs up close, but if you're stuck in an engagement where you need to get these kills fast, you can actually just drop down an ink mine and then back up, and hopefully they'll run into it, or you can kite them into your ink mine, and then you can cheese some kills that way. It also helps you lock down some zones, especially smaller zones like the reef and like camp triggerfish, I guess, multi-zone stuff like that. And the bomb rush is an amazing special again. So yeah, I hope this gave you some insight as to like what kind of weapons I play as a support player, and a utility like midliner. I really try to like make sure that although I can't like top frag, I can't like carry, and I can't like really stick to the back and hold down areas, that I'm in positions to actually assist in both of those roles if need be, as well as stay alive as an anchor for my team if that is needed. So I pretty much play the position that not a lot of people understand, so I thought it would be a good place to make a video about my thoughts and really talk about like why I play machine, why I play like the sloshers I do, and why I play those kind of weapons. Weapons that mainly paint and just like do objective, but really struggle in like doing a lot of the things that frontliners and backliners can do, but at the same time they have like a very important role in this game, I feel, as weapons that can use their specials and use positioning to their advantage. So I hope you guys learned something, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.